Sean Diddy Combs, as you all know, is on trial in federal court, facing charges that include sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals for illegal sexual activity. But for the second week, it wasn't just the charges that rocked the courtroom. It was the testimony. Last week, we told you about Cassie's heartbreaking testimony. And this week, former Danny Kane member Don Richard took the stand, claiming Diddy threatened to make people, quote unquote, disappear. She said she interpreted that as a death threat and testified to witnessing him physically abuse Cassie, describing him dragging her, kicking her, and punching her in the mouth. Then came the photo evidence, graphic images of bruises, drugs, including pink ketamine, and large sums of cash were presented to the jury. These photos, linked by the Department of Justice, back up longstanding accusations of coercion and abuse. Cassie also testified about a near fatal overdose Diddy suffered after a sex party and a Playboy Mansion event in 2012, pointing to years of shared drug abuse and emotional manipulation. She described him as controlling and said that he became enraged if she started using drugs without him. And it didn't stop there. A former assistant described a 2008 standoff where Diddy allegedly armed himself with 3 handguns, left the freak off, and drove to confront Suge Knight outside a diner in LA. He said it was the first time he feared for his life while working for Diddy. Additionally, Cassie's mom, Regina, testified that Combs threatened to release a sex tape of Cassie unless Regina wired him $20,000. He said this was to recoup money that he's already invested in Cassie, and it just so happened to be once Cassie started dating rapper Kid Cudi, who will take the stand before next week, so we'll have some updates on that. Regina said that she took out a home equity loan to pay the $20,000 to Puff Daddy, who is, by the way, was close to being a billionaire. So what were you guys most surprised to learn about in reference to Diddy over the past week?
You want an honest answer?
Honestly.
The honest answer to that question is what I was most intrigued to learn over the last week is that the CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch was arrested for almost the identical same thing as Diddy. The difference is he was deemed incapable of standing trial. And so while it happened amongst a group of his friends, they were not hit with a RICO charge, and now he doesn't have to stand trial, and he will get off for the exact same thing that Diddy did.
And
that's what I was most interested to find out.
Lawyers.
Yeah, no. First of all, no. No. I think what I'm most interested in, not necessarily with Diddy or anything with him, because I'm not shocked by anything that I'm seeing or hearing. I'm really disgusted. No. Okay. Because, to be honest with you, I've read these things. Like, when the lawsuits first started to come out, Don's, I read it, Cassie's, I read it, and they were long, and I read them, and they kind of said everything that we're seeing right now. But I do realize that a lot of other people did not read them, and they don't pay attention to these trial updates like I do, which I get it. People have jobs, so I get it. But I read this stuff, and I'm up on it, and I'm really familiar with what I'm reading and whatnot. And what bothers the hell out of me is the reaction of people outside of it. A lot of people throw racism in it. I don't give a damn if the people are being racist. What he did was horrible, and he should be on trial for it. So, I don't care about racism in this situation. I don't care. Secondly, yesterday there was this thing that went out on all the black blogs and even some black entertainers where they posted these are the 13 escorts that Diddy was using for Cassie, and I thought that was so disgusting. And we're a group of people that continue to holler protect black women, this, and the third. One of these men in these photos was forced to urinate in this girl's mouth. So how are we talking about protect somebody and we're posting pictures like that and then we think it's funny? I'm so disgusted with people and how they are reacting to this trial. That's the most shocking to me, and I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. It's disgusting.
One of them also murdered someone apparently as well. They have a body.
The one guy is the one who recently, fairly 2018, I think it was, he went into Trump Tower and shot inside of there, Trump Hotel, and he shot inside of there, and he was on video and he was saying all this stuff, and I think people dismissed it at the time because it sounded crazy. All the stuff he was saying was turned out to be true as far as his involvement. Jonathan Oddie, if you look him up on TikTok, you'll see what I'm talking about. just I'm just really disgusted with what I see people saying and doing on
Also,
social media.
let me clarify, because Dex made a statement like he don't care about racism. Two things can be true at a time, right? Like,
Yeah, but we're talking about that though.
yeah, but what I'm saying is the two things can be true at a time, right? Like, Diddy absolutely in this entire situation is disgusting, but there are two different justice systems at work here, and it needs to be highlighted. Like, they both should be on trial for doing the exact same thing. The difference is that they're not, right? Like, so two things can be true at a time.
Yes, but if you wanted to talk about that, then you should have brought that up, but you didn't. We're specifically talking about Diddy at this moment, and I'm not saying you specifically, but I feel like this is happening a lot with a lot of black men, where they're bringing any and every other type of conversation into it, when like the conversation is about Diddy right now, and like that is what we should be talking about. And I feel like when we start to throw little things in there, and you're not wrong, but I feel like when we throw little other things in there, Cassie liked this, or other people did this, or the white man did this, that, and the third, like it kind of like muddies it and distracts from what we should really be talking about, which is Diddy and this criminal enterprise that he's been running for decades.
I don't think so.
Well, we also don't know the CEO of Abercrombie. Like, I don't know who that is. Like, who cares?
Me neither. I never heard that story.
Like, I don't mean, I hope she gets justice,
there's
but
a
it's
special
like
on like Peacock or something. It's
no,
out there.
I understand, but the reason that the Diddy one is getting so much more attention, I'm of course the Abercrombie guy should also be getting his actual justice in court, and the victim should be getting justice in court. But the reason this is a more polarizing story is not because Diddy's black, it's because he's Diddy. Like it's what I'm saying is, who the hell is the CEO of Abercrombie? Like, who gives a shit? I mean, I hope the girls get justice. I'm not saying who gives shit about that.
Well, I don't know if it was just girls.
Who cares about him enough to raise sand and the public pressure that it would take for it to be relitigated at this point. Todd, do you have anything to add? Are we good?
Yeah, I think we kind of beat it with a dead horse. I mean, we beat it to death, but for sure, I'm not really shocked about a lot of the Diddy stuff. Anybody with a God complex is really capable of anything. And when you're feeding people and they're feeding off of you, and there's money, and they cover things up, the most egregious things. And I don't think Diddy is the only person engaging in this stuff. I think a lot of people are doing it, and hopefully they will learn that there are consequences to these types of things. And because I think that there will be likely more people who are going to be uncovered for this type of behavior as well. But I'm not particularly shocked. It's just sad.
All right.